on Facebook and YouTube today. And we are live. Dog Talk Live. It is, what day is it? A day that ends in Y. Let's go with Wednesday. It is Wednesday today. We are here from Soggy Acres Retrievers located in South Central Wisconsin at my kennel. We are going to talk today about dogs. I'm being mauled as we talk about it by Scarlett, by Memphis. Geez, Ronald even waddled out here. Ace and Pickett. Yes, I have 5 labs in my house. Someone actually was offended by the fact that I have 5 labs in my house and said that it's disgusting and I should only have that many dogs if I run a dog daycare. I don't know. I guess I pretty much run a dog daycare. But that's my life. So, you know what? If that upsets people, hey, so be it. That is what I do. We are here to talk about dogs. Here to entertain because everyone is stuck at home. And oh, my co-host is here. Hold on. Memphis. She is the co-host of Dog Talk Live. Her name is Soggy Acres Memphis Bell. She likes to hug me and be on our broadcast. So I know we get a lot of people on here, and our the best way that we have this Dog Talk Live is by having people ask questions. So if you have questions, whether it's training, about puppies, about adult dogs, about care, we want to see your questions on here. Type them in as a comment. As you pop in, please let us know where you're from. So we want to know where you're from, what your questions are, and from there we will answer them. If you're watching this after the fact, I will try to come back and watch and check for comments and find any questions that I can and answer them for you. Memphis is bored today. Yesterday was about 75 degrees, and sunny today is about 65 degrees. We have storms rolling in, and then our weather is going to turn to crap. We are going to be back into the low 50s, and then next week they're calling for the low 40s. Go figure, it's my turkey season next week. It's going to be like 42 degrees for a high. Ace, out. We don't want dog toys in the background. Go on, out. We're going to kick Ace out so that we can not have the squeaky toy going in the background. Now, on a serious note, put my serious face on. Why is it when you get a toy for the dogs, do they kill the squeaker? They got the toy, they get the squeaker out, and then they destroy the squeaker. If anyone has that knowledge, that would be something I would love to know. So please, let us know if you can find that out for us. We are up on Dog Talk Live. We want to hear your questions. We want to know what you are looking for answers on. We're going to host our competition today. The question today, our poll for today is, what is your favorite Labrador Retriever color? Chocolate or black? I cannot put all 3 colors on at once. So far, our past polls, we have run a competition between yellow and black, with yellow winning. Then yesterday we ran a competition with chocolate and yellow, with chocolate winning. So now we're going to run chocolate against black. Now, you would think that this would mean, with yesterday's results, that we would crown the chocolate as winner. But as with anything with Labrador Retrievers, I am now looking, and black is, of course, beating chocolate. So what will end up having happen is each color will win a round, and no one will be a winner, and it'll just be the Labrador Retrievers are great. My favorite is chocolate. Obviously, I own all 3 colors. I've always been a chocolate guy. And it is something that, as you see Ace walk in the background, it is something that everyone's got their own favorite. There's only one breed. It is the Labrador Retriever. But everyone's got a coat color that they appreciate. Your chocolate coat can range anywhere from a little bit lighter chocolate to a dark chocolate. Your yellow can range anywhere from a almost white to a what is considered fox red, darker rust-colored color, and then black is obviously just black. When you're popping in here on our Dog Talk Live, please let us know where you're from. Put up at least your state or your city and state or country. If from another country, let me know what part of that country, because I, geography-wise, know where countries are, but don't know a darn thing about them. Let's see. So where I'm at on my dogs for training right now, we are working with dogs. Got them in the water. I usually do a couple of days early in the week where we're working on our retrieves, bringing back to hand, adding in our whistle training. So I'm using whistle now for our commands. But then today, I always revisit and go back to the hold command just because it's so important. So today it was walking on lead with the dogs, doing obedience and working on hold, trying to really reinforce that. I'm at the point now where we're through force fetch, albeit all 3 months we're revisiting force fetch, but we are through force fetch where we've put our time in, where we really put our pressure in. So I'm trying to get it to the point where the dogs can really have positive feedback. So I'm trying to make it as easy as I can on them and put them in a position where they can succeed. Wow. Black is at 80%, chocolate at 20%. I'm telling you, these polls are making absolutely no sense. Yellow beat black, chocolate beat yellow, and now black is beating chocolate. Again, so today we're working on just hold at heel and walking at heel. Tomorrow we are going to go to probably a modified where I'm making it fun, but releasing the dogs on their name and having them go and do a retrieve. I won't have them in the water because it's supposed to be very cold tomorrow. And then on Friday, I plan on getting out frozen birds and working with our birds for the first time. Oh, sorry, you're not boring me. I just didn't get enough sleep last night. But what I do with for birds is every year during teal season and early duck season, I collect a good number of teal and wood ducks. And then I use those, after we harvest them, I freeze them and I save those for my training birds. And yes, I do eat everything else, but I do keep the smaller ducks that are in good shape for my training birds, as opposed to having these large birds where the dogs are really struggling with them. So we are going to start tomorrow with frozen birds. As we get further into training, I will thaw them out, let the dogs have a bird that is just basically completely thawed. And it is nice because you can use these birds multiple times when you're using them as frozen or as thawed, because you can refreeze them. And it really takes away from how many birds you have to harvest. I can simulate a bird going down a mark with a bumper, and I can simulate, and then picking up feathers is something that I will work where I've got them completely under control. We do shoot a certain amount of birds over the dogs, but what I like to do is I like to actually use the birds live with their wings clipped. They are basically just running on the ground so that I can teach tracking. That is how I go about doing my training with dogs. If you have other ideas, hey, go ahead and throw them out there. You want to use birds, though, a lot so that you get the dogs. One, it gets them excited. Two, it is real world experience for them. And three, just putting wings on a bumper is not the same as picking a bird up. So we are going to go through some of our comments now. Let's see. Dog vest. No vest for waterfall or field. Chris, if you are in a colder weather situation, you're going to want to use a dog vest that is insulation for the dog. They do have lighter vests that you can use for upland. That'll be more of a chest protector. I don't run a vest on my dogs for upland unless they are have had puppies before. Then I'll put a belly protector on them because their girdle parts can be hanging down after they've nursed pups. But yes, I do use them when it is colder. As for waterfowl, I never use them for upland. Again, the biggest thing I end up having happen is if you use vest, if it's not properly fitted and you're using them on upland, just watch the dog because you don't want them to rub themselves raw. But that is my thought on vests. You guys are doing a great job. We got California, we got Verona, Wisconsin, we got Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we got Oregon, we got Mr. Holland Rhinelander. Let's see, Mark is voting black. Mark, you can't vote on a comment. You got to vote in the actual poll. And our poll right now, these are all over the map. 75% black, 25% chocolate. I'm really disappointed in you guys because chocolate is the best color, in my opinion. But I mean, we had yellow beat black, chocolate beat yellow, and now black is going to be chocolate. It's not going to make any sense. But hey, that is our poll. Labrador Retriever participation trophies. Sherry, we're going to need one for my chocolates, I think, after today. I don't. We're going to have to stage a huge comeback to come back. So vote chocolate, and vote Pedro. That's all I'm going to say. Chris Lulov. How does one get started in starting their own kennel? Well, Chris, you know what? Starting your own kennel is tough. It is like starting any other business. You're going to have to basically probably start it as a part-time job. Start training some dogs, making a name for yourself, or start with females. To get into dog breeding, it's easy the first couple of litters for a lot of people because they'll get into it and they'll think, God, this is nothing. I've sold all my puppies. Then you run through all your family and friends. It is something that where then everyone that you know has a puppy, and no matter how nice of puppies you're putting out, you have to make sure that you're putting yourself out there and doing marketing. I always tell people that you can learn a lot by someone by their health guarantee and by how they keep their grounds and their kennel facility. Always have that be clean, have a good quality professional facility, and from there, you know, it's all about building a business with customer service, which does not exist very much in the dog world. So customer service and having really good lines. The other thing that I learned early on was that you never fall in love with your own lines. You want to have multiple lines as you go. Everyone thinks they have a great dog, but you want to have multiple lines. As far as female lines, we have, I believe now, 9 different female lines, 8 or 9. And then for males, I was looking at producing more stud dogs for the future. And looking at it, I'm like, wow, our lines are getting pretty tight. They weren't like you couldn't breed them, but we needed genetic variation. So we called a different kennel down south, Mossy Pond Retrievers, Brad Arrington. Talked to Brad. He had a very nice black male that I purchased, which is now our male HRCH, Soggy Acres, Red Baron, MH, qualified all age, 1 Grand Pass. Really accomplished dog. And then I got a chocolate male from Brad. His name is HRCH. He's got his Finnish title. That's what that is, Hunter Retriever Champion. Soggy Acres Sherman's March. So I brought in 2 new stud dogs that I can breed to every one of my dogs because I don't have any of those genetics in my dogs. So it is basically building it like a business and working it from there. Hope that helps. Boy, that was long. We got Alberta. We got Nebraska. Come on, Labs. We're at 32%. Let's go. Vote chocolate. Vote chocolate. Vote chocolate. Sorry, I'm not partisan on this at all. We got Tina down in Florida. Let's see. Dennis. Hey, Jeff. What are your thoughts on keeping a hunting dog outside in a 10x10 kennel, concrete floor with a windbreak and shaded, insulated area for cold months? Dennis, you know what? As long as the dog is safe and comfortable, that's fine. You don't have to have a hunting dog outside. My dogs all live in the house. All the dogs that you've seen on our TV show, all the dogs that you see here plopping around in the background are all my house dogs. As far as our females, we place them all in homes. My opinion is I want my dogs in the house because they're part of my family, but other people can't have them in the house, maybe for allergy reasons or just that's what their thought is. You want to make sure they have an area that is heated and as well as covered and cool for winter or for summer, and that is clean. All right, let's see here. Fox Creek Labs, hello from Newton, Illinois. How are we doing there, ma'am? It was good talking to you yesterday. My Hood, Oregon is listening. Hood, Oregon, all right, is listening. And sorry, I'm reading here. Let's see, do you allow tours of my kennel? Rich, we do. We set appointments up for people that want to come down and see our kennel. Obviously, with everything going on right now, we're a little more stringent on our rules and people going into our facilities. Once this mess known as COVID has passed, we will absolutely be wide open where we have stuff down there. But it is imperative if people want to come down, we set appointments up. But please understand, this is also our house. We do it by appointment. Black pups. Look, let's see. Let's see, Mr. Donovan. What litter are you in? Hold on a second here. Let me look, and I will let you know. You're in the Pippa litter. We uh, we put a video up yesterday, so if you haven't seen it on our Soggy Acres Retrievers page, um, here I'm going to let everyone know too. I put videos up of our litters that we have on the ground. This is our Soggy Acres Facebook page. I usually put the videos up there and then share them over to this page. When you share videos, they don't do as well as a video that is put up directly onto a page. But if you want to watch our litters, the Pippa litter, we put a video up yesterday. I'm going to put a Josie litter up probably today. And it's kind of a cool thing. You guys can watch them grow from when they're first born all the way to the day they go home. Let's see. Hello from Dodgeville. I love the live forums, Jeff. Great info. Oh, you're welcome, Gene. I'm not going to lie and say that we're going to do this this often. Once everyone is out and about, I just don't know if we would have the viewership. I do them during the day because, quite honestly, at night that's my time. So I do apologize. Once we cut these back to once or twice a week, it will be at a set time. I try to do them at 2 o'clock, but honestly, my life it really hasn't changed with everything, so I'm pretty busy. We've got 2 litters on the ground. We've got 5 dogs in for training right now. I've got a couple more obedience dogs coming in. So it's kind of crazy that, and you throw in the fact of the whole homeschooling thing. My youngest is at his mother's today. So, but when you've got a kid bebopping around that you're trying to keep focused, as well as all the dogs, it's a little busy. But yeah, we definitely do enjoy coming on here and talking to everybody. Let's see. Ideas for training points for riding in the truck. Oh, training points for riding in the truck. Well, you know what, Chris? I usually, when my dogs are completely potty trained and obedience trained, I will let them ride in the truck with me. I've got a sling in my back seat because I usually have 3 or 4 knuckleheads in my truck. It's almost like a big hammock that attaches to the back seat of my truck and the headrest of my front seat. So it's kind of cool. It keeps the dog safe. If you have older dogs, and come here, Scarlet. Scarlet wants to say hi. Come on. Come here. Come on up here, Scarlet. This is Scarlet. She is my buddy. Scarlet did not get to sleep in bed with me last night because she jumped in the pond, so she was too wet. But Scarlet is the queen of muzzle kisses. She also likes to bite and play. She's kind of the big play dog of the house, her and Memphis. She just wanted to stop and say hi, I guess. Right, Scarlet? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I take my dogs everywhere with me when I go places. It's kind of nice to have them where they are getting lots of time in the vehicle, because then when you go on trips, my dogs just basically fall asleep. Scarlet is the biggest fan of sticking her head out the window to take in the fresh air. She thinks that the window should be down for the head out the window at any time above about 30 degrees, which gets a little cold for us humans. But hey, that's what's important to her. Ace wants to come up and say hi now. Ace is, again, our all-world dog that has run all his competition and done so great. He's now here to say hi. All right, we're going to get him down. Scarlet's stuffing a really slimy, nasty toy in my arm. Yeah, please let us know what questions you have. Chocolate Lab is at 34%. Come on. We can do better for the Chocolate Lab. It should win this. Or maybe the Black will win. But keep voting early and often. Oh, man, we're losing. We're down to 33%. Let's see. I'm all over the map today. I apologize. Let's see. Catherine. Catherine has 1 chocolate, 1 black. I don't know where you vote then. Do you teach basic obedience to your dogs? Catherine, yes, we do basic obedience. I start my obedience with a pinch collar. I transition to an e-collar. And I work with them on everything from the gear command to the sit command to the kennel command to the heel command to, I always make dogs sit before I walk into a door and before I come out of the door. That answers that. And again, I apologize. I'm all over the map today. Let's see, 2 new comments. Hi, Dawn. How are you doing? Good to see you on our live event. How's Kimber? I have a 9-year-old yellow and a 10-week-old chocolate. You have your hands full. Mr. Ryan. There's a good thing. Everyone always asks, when should I get my next dog? If you can only have one or two dogs. With hunting dogs, I tell people if you want to get a dog so that you're set in the field, I try to get my new dog when the other dog is about, I always tell people 7, 8, somewhere around there, because then you have a couple of years to get your new dog up to speed and ready to go, and have them field ready for when you retire the other dog. You're going to look at retiring dogs when they are anywhere from 10 to 12 years old. I personally retire mine around 10. Usually after their 10th season, just because of the fact I always have so many dogs that I have too many to get out and get hunting. And I always look at it as, how would I feel if one of them got injured and I had to have a surgery on them when they're later, older in life. So that's just my opinion on it. Try to get them so that you have them so that they're up and running and trained when the other dog is in their last year or two of hunting, so that then you can run them to retirement. All right. Black is back, Mr. Bloom. It is. Black is at 67%, chocolate's at 33%. I wished I was a better politician. I would figure out how I could somehow skew the vote and add some extra votes for the chocolate lab here, but I do not know how. So all I'm going to say is vote chocolate, vote chocolate. It's my favorite color. Come on, don't let me down, people. It's my event here on Facebook. You should at least help me out. I voted for chocolate in Memphis, even though you have a black. Thanks, Richie. I hope you got to see Memphis on here before. She was obviously she's a big part of this. She's a co-host. So yeah, this is honestly odd, because if this holds, we are going to have gone from black losing to yellow, which I didn't think would happen. I will say I thought black was going to win the entire event. Then I ran chocolate against yellow, and chocolate crushed yellow, and now black is crushing chocolate. So everyone's going to be 1-1. I guess we'll just call it a 3-way tie for first if this holds. But maybe everyone will feel sorry for me and vote chocolate. Vote for chocolate. Well, maybe not. Let me know what questions you have as we're on here. I would love to hear from you. Again, we talked about where our dogs are at in training and what we're doing right now. The other thing I do when I do gun training. So when you do your gun training, you want to have it where the dog is distracted. So it's almost like a distraction training where you shoot the gun in the background. I take dogs out. I throw bumpers for the group of dogs that I have in for training. Let them all get excited, run around like idiots, chase around, pick up the bumper, chase each other at the bumper. I don't have any formal part of this. It's just a fun thing for them. And then what I do from there is I start to shoot a 209 primer pistol off as they're running away from me. And the bumper has been thrown, and eventually do that every couple of times, to doing it every time, to then working with them while we're out doing their field training by themselves and shooting off the primer pistol, and eventually transitioning that to a shotgun. So I hope that helps on how to introduce a dog to gunfire. Let's see here. Do we have any questions? Training over gun ideas. Well, Chris, I just gave you that training with gunfire in the background. That is what we do. I always counsel our people when we're doing our training for folks. The first time that you take a dog out to hunt, go as a handler, not as a hunter. 2 things. 1, have one person shooting at birds. You don't want to have too many guns going off because it can scare the dog. 2, you want to be a handler, so you're making sure that your training has been proofed and that the dog is under control. I can give you the idea, or give you a story about this real quick before the end of our live event here. I had a dog that was through training. I upland hunted over that dog several times, took her out and was guiding with her at a local hunt club. First bird went up with 4 guys. They all emptied their guns and missed. So 12 shots went off over this dog. The dog ran back to the truck, went in the trailer. It is something that you want to make sure that the dog is not being put in a position it hasn't had before, which was 4 guys that were just lighting it up over the dog. Make sure that you're doing what is best for the dog on the first times out. I always get my buddy is a dog, so I'm going to take my dog out hunting with my buddy's dog. if your buddy's dog is a, how do I say this kindly? I can't, I'm blunt, a complete idiot, and it breaks and it barks and it howls, your dog is going to see that and think that that is okay for them. So make sure it is a well-mannered dog. If you have your dog, another dog, my personal preference is when you take a dog out for its first season, it's just that dog. It's you as a handler until the dog is completely under control and only a hunter or two. That would be the best case scenario for your dog for the future. As the dog gets older, you can always add in other dogs. You can always add in shooters. You can add in so many things, but that first season is imperative that you figure out how to be a teammate with your dog. All right, I think that is it on questions. So we're going to call it now on Dog Talk Live here. We're on YouTube and we are on Facebook. If you have questions after the fact, please put them up. I'm not too keen on the YouTube stuff on how to do it yet, so I will go back into my YouTube account and look for people that are throwing up comments. I will answer everything I can for you as honestly as I can. We love having you guys on here. We love talking to everybody about dogs. I am going to publish the results. Our results basically make it so that all three colors of Labrador Retriever are the favorite color, because black lost to yellow, yellow lost to chocolate, now chocolate lost to black. Makes no sense, but that's because labs are all awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's Dog Talk Live. We're getting dark here on our broadcast because outside is getting dark because we've got a bunch of rain coming. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. God bless.